So last month I went to a wedding in Houston.
All right, well, I packed into a state park cabin with my kids, my sister's family, and my parents. Those are the kind of adventures that most of us have.
We just thought we'd share that with everybody. Also, Dean Jacobs' most recent trip had him exploring the Amazon River and the rainforest. Dean, good to see you. Thanks for coming back.
Contrast. We're saying he is way more exciting
What
than
a
we
vacation.
are.
No, we all have our ways to do our life. But thanks. It's good to be back with you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. So talk about this trip. You were gone for a while. I mean,
6 months.
Where'd you go? 6 months?
6 months. And my intention is always to find ways to connect people to culture, history, and the natural wonders. And I followed the Amazon all the way. I started at 17,000 feet, where it starts in the Andes. And the first 1,000 miles of hopscotch, and then I got on the Amazon and I floated the last 3,000 miles by cargo ships, sleeping in hammocks, hanging out.
Floated?
Yeah.
On a cargo ship for 3,000 miles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was that experience like?
Well, you know, it's not your everyday experience you're going to find in Nebraska, that's for sure. But it was special because it gives you a chance to connect with ordinary people, and that's where you begin to understand what a place is like by spending time with the people that live there.
And we're taking a look at some of the pictures from the trip now as you tell us about it. These are amazing.
Those are people that live in the Amazon. They're the Achuar. It took me an hour by flight and a 3-hour canoe ride to get. That's how deep I was in the Amazon rainforest with those people. Very, very special people. As a matter of fact, I'm going back to see them again, to connect with them in January, because where they live is 2 million acres of virgin rainforest, and there's talk about turning their land over to oil companies. And I'm just not willing to sit back and let that happen. So I'm using this as an opportunity to connect our kids to them, and I'm bringing photos and letters from our kids, and I'll take it down to them, and I'm going to link those two worlds together. Yeah. To use it as a chance to teach people about the rainforest.
Yeah, and you took all those pictures?
Oh yeah.
Was that a toucan we saw?
That was, yeah, Fruit Loops toucan. That that was it.
Have you had a chance? Have you built relationships with some of these people down there?
I have, and in particular the Achuar, and that little boy that was sitting with me on the screen there. Right before I disappeared for the last time, he runs up to me and he goes, "Yacht Zero." And I turned to the guy, amazing guy, Christina Serrano. I go, "What did he just say?" And he said, "Well, she said he just called you his brother," which is one of the great honors you can be given in a culture who is not about the accumulation of stuff, but relationships with people. And my heart just went kerplunk, you know, like anybody. And I decided that there's something magical here. And they know things that we've forgotten, that we can learn from them, and they can learn from us.
They're not sitting around on smartphones.
No, there's no electricity. There's no running water. And I mean, it took an hour by flight and 3 hours by canoe to get there. I mean, they are deep in the Amazon. But such a beautiful culture. And I think it'd be a shame if we lost that opportunity to learn from them.
Do they have a lot of, I mean, maybe not a lot, but is there a significant number of explorers that come into there? I mean, are they used to seeing the people from the Western world?
Well, you know, that's a great question, Mike. They made a conscious choice a few years ago to actually invite the West in to learn from them, because they knew eventually the pressures would be coming from the West, which is pretty remarkable as a culture. So about once a month or so, that's how I was able to get in there. I mean, you just don't get off a boat and go visit an Amazon rainforest culture. I mean, back in the 70s, they were still headhunting in that part of the world. So, I mean, they're very proud and very dignified and fierce culture. So you have to be welcomed and invited into their culture. Now I have a friendship with them, and now I'm going back, and which is really special for me.
We have to talk about the animals, because you did give us some video that we want you to talk about. What kind of animals did you see, and what's going on here?
Well, these are squirrel monkeys, and this is on an island that's on the Amazon River that actually belongs to Colombia, where I heard that you could actually get close contact with the monkeys. They eat fruit.
These are wild monkeys.
These are wild monkeys, exactly.
Aren't you afraid of any bites?
No, but they did leave a few calling cards. But outside that, I didn't have any problems. I mean, I grew up with, you know, Wild Kingdom, and I gravitate to these kinds of experiences for a moment, because how can you miss a chance to do something like this?
Wow,
you do speak with kids. If local teachers are interested in having you come talk about your adventures, how can they get in contact with you, or what's the best way to
Well, my website is the best way to find me at deanjacobs.org. I'm really excited to announce that I just made an agreement with Papillion La Vista, so if your viewers are from Papillion, I'm going to all 14 of their elementary schools when I come back from the Amazon this time. So, you know, one thing to read about it on a website, but to actually talk to a guy who's been there.
And be able to ask questions.
Right. It makes it
a wealth of information. Anything scary happen on any of these particular trips?
Well, I went swimming with piranhas. I guess somebody would call
That's
that
scary, yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah, you can say.
I walked across a bridge that's made from grass. And it was at least, this bridge was probably spanned about 35, 40 yards across this canyon. Down below was this raging white water. My heart took it. You ever see Shrek, the movie with Donkey? Well, that was my Shrek moment in my Indiana Jones moment, all combined together.
Well, we hate to have to let you go so soon, but we do. Our time always runs out with Dean so fast. You do have a send-off party because you're going back so quickly. It's coming up on Saturday from 7 to 9 at the Blue Bottle Coffee Shop in downtown Fremont. Of course, more information about Dean at deanjacobs.org.
Good stuff, and keep in touch with us. Send us some stuff back if you get the opportunity.
Yeah, we expect to have you back after your next trip as well.
I will come back, and I'm happy. And it's always a pleasure to spend time with you guys. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dean.
Appreciate it.
All right, well.